Hello, gamers, and welcome to episode 456 of the Super Ultra Podcast Arcade for May 25th, 2024. I'm one of your hosts, Daniel Nicholson, and with me is my co-host, Dominic Stallworth. What's going on this week, Dominic?
Man, it's not a lot going on, but we definitely are getting to those warmer days now. Now we're being more consistent with the warmer days now. I'm not liking it. Nope. So now I'm already counting down the days until late September and October. Because I'm like, the time is here, man. This is the most hated time of the year for me. This is my freaking 3 months of hate I was going to have to deal with, man. Hope it just go by fast. I wish I could hibernate. There's some cool place I can hibernate, during the summer, so I can just wake up during winter.
And put you in the room where they keep Walt Disney's head. I go to the Bears' den, Daniel.
When the Bears leave their den, the other hibernate and say, hey, I'll come in. I'll sleep here, and then you wake me up, and then I'll leave out.
Just keeping the bed warm for you. I get it.
Yeah. But anyway, all right. Let's get down to it. I know I edited out sports last week because we had a long podcast. So I know the O's, they've been doing okay. They get swept, though, recently by the St. Louis Cardinals. So the streak is over. Now, I don't know. I'm trying to remember what the streak was. Like, who was the other teams? Oh, here we go. So they topped the Giants. The 1903 Giants, 205. Oh, wow. So 1905 Giants. And they were looking for the Cardinals. The 1942 Cardinals and 1944 Cardinals. They were trying to get... They had 125. So, that sucks. Darn, I was going to use my excuse of there was no minority playing, so I don't count. But, well, technically, hold up. What year did Jack Robinson join?
1947.
Okay, yes. It don't count, Daniel. So the Orioles are tied with the Giants. And what up? The Giants don't count either. The Orioles are the best team. They are the best team. They hold that record, Daniel. They hold the record for it. It don't count. There was no minorities playing in those years, so that they mean nothing to me at all. And so there you go.
There we go.
So they hold the record. I don't care what they say in baseball history. All right. So what else has been going on? Basketball playoffs. So we got Boston versus the Pacers are happening. I believe Boston's up 2-0. And then you have Mavericks playing against Timberwolves. Timberwolves did beat the defending champions, Denver Nuggets. So the Denver Nuggets are out. And now... But Mavericks are up 2-0 against Timberwolves. And so it looks like it could be another white hope coming here with... What should we call it? He's Doncic. Doncic. Luka Doncic. Cause I get Jokic and Doncic. So Luka. He's the best player in the playoffs right now. So yeah, he's really doing well. I think what he got, how many points he got last game? He got 32 points. He got triple double. 32 points, 13 rebounds. 13 assists, 10 rebounds. Yeah, dude's balling. Kyrie Irving's also on the team, the free thinker there. He did pretty well with 20 points. But yeah, so it's looking good for them. I mean, Timberwolves have to bounce back but the thing is with Mavericks, they beat Timberwolves both at their home. So it's the ball is in their court. The ball is in their court, and I don't know. I believe it's still the team that's favorite now. Really, is still Boston. It's really open up for Boston. I mean, you already have the Nuggets who lost, and your biggest problem is Jokic, really trying to get past Jokic, and now he won't be there. I mean, these are two tough teams though. They're gonna be going against, but it's man, Boston. They've just been good for so long. It's if they don't win it this year, I don't know when. Honestly, I don't know if it's ever going to happen. It's just it feels like one of those years. So I just have a feeling Boston's gonna win it all. Like I have no dog in this fight. Like with any of the team, it's no team in here where I don't want them to win. Put it like that. There's no team I'm rooting against, and it's not really a team I'm really rooting for. I mean, maybe a little bit more on the Wolves, even though it looks like they're gonna lose. Maybe them, because I technically never seen the Pacers either, but I don't know. I'm not Indiana's whatever, you know. I mean, it's just like I mean I don't dislike them, but it's like
yeah,
it's kind of just like a country, one of those states. Even though it's not technically a flower state, man, but I find nothing like I'm not going to be going to like thinking about like hey I'm going to go visit Indiana. I don't know. It's not.
It's a fly through state. You don't fly over it. You just connected that airport and then you keep going.
Yeah. Yeah. Dallas, I have seen 1-1. I don't mind seeing them win again, and Boston, I had nothing against Boston. I mean, now Boston, they have won the most championships, so I guess you would like if you're a person who's been watching NBA for a lot of years. I guess maybe you say like I don't want to see them win again, but in my lifetime, Boston's only won one. I mean, as far as me watching it, I think they won actually maybe two, if I'm technically going by when I was born. But they I only seen them in one. Only seen them in one championship in my lifetime. So. I mean, but since I've been watching them, I only seen them 1-1, and that was with the big three. So yeah, I didn't see all those years when they were just dominating the NBA. It was like them and the Lakers. The Lakers are the team. They're the teams that win all the time, most of in our lifetime. So, I mean, it's the Lakers and 6 years of Bulls. Yeah. That's it. So I don't mind Boston winning really. Like I don't dislike them like enough to like not want them to win or nothing. I have nothing against Boston. Like there's only one team in the NBA I don't like, and that's the Lakers. Like that's the only team. That's it. Other than that, I can care less. And then that's basically it. As far as sports that I've been paying attention to, I know there was some horse racing. I couldn't tell you what horse won, honestly. You know who won?
I don't. I completely forgot that one was happening because I saw
Pimlico. Yeah.
Because I saw Kentucky Derby because that came on like right after a WWE pay-per-view the other week, and then 2 weeks after that is when Pimlico happens here. But I completely forgot that we were at that time, so I didn't see any of that.
I think it was a horse with hooves. That one.
That's very ableist of them. Should have been a horse without hooves that won.
It's like, so that's basically it from sports. Any big wrestling news?
Just pay-per-views this weekend. You got Double or Nothing for AEW tomorrow, Sunday, as of recording this, and just in a couple hours.
Is he still in a cast? He still got a cast around his neck, or he's good?
Who's that?
Khan.
You know what? I think he's just been off TV because they're still doing the whole like Young Bucks kind of taking over the company type thing.
Okay.
Because they're the executive vice presidents and blah blah blah. So honestly, it was just because that worked out so well because it was NFL draft weekend, so he was on TV. So he's not really doing many media appearances now. So I don't know whether he's still keeping that gimmick alive or not. Because he hasn't returned.
He's really hurt, Daniel. That's why.
I'm sure.
He's resting.
But and then King and Queen of the Ring is happening in a couple hours here for WWE. That's a Saudi show, so that comes on at 1:00 Eastern. And that looks like an all right card. They're taking the King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring monikers a lot more seriously. This go round, Triple H has announced that the winners will get a title match at SummerSlam, which is something that a lot of people have always said, like, make it basically kind of the equivalent for the summer of the Royal Rumble, where, you win this tournament and you get your title shot at the big summer show, which is, of course, SummerSlam. So that's really cool to see. Also, just like looking at the competitors for the King of the Ring, you have Gunther, who just lost the Intercontinental title after a record-setting reign at WrestleMania, versus Randy Orton, who is just, a legend in his own right. So you're actually seeing like serious competitors. No offense to Xavier Woods, but he was the guy that won King of the Ring the last time they did it, and I think that kind of says all it needs to say. He's a perpetual mid-card guy, and to put that on him, I think it really speaks to kind of the difference here that we're seeing this time around. In the women's bracket, it's going to be Nia Jax versus Lyra Valkyrie. Lyra Valkyrie is a woman who just came up from NXT. She's coming off of being NXT Women's Champion not that long ago. Nia Jax has come back and improved significantly since her last time with the company. So it's been really good seeing her kind of evolution there. And I think if they want to go that route, having her win, she could do a lot of fun things with kind of that gimmick of being all high and mighty because you are the king, or, well, in her case, the queen of the ring. I don't know if they go that route necessarily, just because I feel like there's a good chance that Gunther wins for the men, and I don't know if they want to do two bad guys winning on both sides of that bracket. So we'll see. But along with that, there's a couple other matches. Cody is facing Logan Paul in a title match. That should be fun. Logan Paul's been a really good wrestler, and it'll be interesting to see Cody have like his first kind of title defense there. I think Becky Lynch is also facing Liv Morgan. That's fine. They got put in kind of a weird spot because Rhea Ripley got hurt, so they put the title on Becky Lynch. It seems like they're trying to play up the story that they were going to with Liv Morgan returning after injury, but because Rhea's not there, it's hard for them to play all the way into that, which would have been, her going against Rhea because Rhea's the one that injured her. So I think that's just kind of them working around it a lot. I don't know if they necessarily put the title on Liv here, or if it's maybe somewhere a little later down the line. But it definitely seems like Becky was just kind of the stopgap, and I wouldn't be surprised if Liv gets that title pretty soon, depending on how soon Rhea will be able to recover and come back. I don't recall seeing how serious that injury was, so not totally sure there. But yeah, it's some good wrestling going on right now.
All right, cool, man. So let's get into what we're watching. So I'll start. I did watch Dune Part 1 again.
Okay.
This time because I wasn't really feeling it the first time I watched it, and now I said, I'm gonna really focus on it because maybe I missed something because people said they really gave it high praise, and I just didn't see it.
I was same.
I watched it again. I watched it in 3D. The 3D, okay. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. So I ended up watching it just in the like 26p or something and whatever. Okay. 2160 or something like that. Yeah. Whatever, the 4K. Okay. I ended up watching that, and it was it looked great. It looked great, and so I was like, yeah, I'll just stick with this. I watched I think a lot of it in 3D. It had some moments, but it wasn't like put it like this. It didn't do nothing to make the movie better or anything, and it didn't make it worse either. But it just did nothing. Like for me, I recommend you just watch it normally. Yeah,
it's a visually stunning movie, but nothing outside of maybe like the sandworm stuff would maybe make me think like, ooh, 3D.
Yeah, exactly. So I ended up and so I watched all of it, and I still feel somewhat the same way, probably a little bit better. I do like it more than I liked it the first time, but it's all right. It's an okay movie. Like, it's nothing where I don't find it great. Like, I don't find it like, oh man, this is a great movie. I just find it's okay. Maybe I want to see the second one, so that's out there now, and just to see how maybe I like that one better. Um, but yeah, I find it like just a I mean it's all right. It's a good sci-fi movie, but there was I don't know about like it being like a top movie and like really saying it's great or anything.
Yeah, it
I don't
really
know.
felt like
I
a
get that.
setup because I didn't put it on here because I didn't finish it, but I did start watching Dune Part 2. I think I may be like a third of the way through it, and so far I'm enjoying it quite a bit more than the first one because I felt the same way as you. Like it didn't impress me in the way that like a lot of people seem to be talking about it, like it was some kind of like movie of the year contender or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was kind of interested to go back and see if like I felt differently upon second viewing. But I'm glad that you actually did watch it and kind of came off with a similar opinion, again, the second viewing. So maybe I don't waste my time doing that. But I will say so far the second one it's much more engaging. Like there's a lot more going on from the jump. And I think it's more interesting because of that.
Okay, good. Also, I did watch Iron Claw, and
How'd you like that?
Man, that's a very sad.
Yes.
I liked it, but it was a very sad movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I kind of wish. I mean, I wanted to go more in detail with the Pacific Brothers and their problems. I felt like it didn't go too much in detail of it. I guess I know they focus on the older brother, but well, at least the older one that was still alive anyway. Because I don't know, and I just felt like I wanted more details from each brother and how they felt. Because basically, I just like, especially like, I wish it was something like where like off scenes of like when the younger brother was basically told like he was going to be wrestling. Like, how did he feel about that? Mm. But I guess you really don't know. But I don't know. But I mean, I know these things don't. They're not. They're based on true story. But you add your own interpretation and things to those stories. Because I was like, I mean, I seen on the mat when the father was like, "Who's going to be champion?" And he said when he said his name. Well, first when he didn't say the older brother first. Yeah. And then he said the other guy's name. It almost looked like he wasn't expected to be wrestling.
Right.
like he was going to be in music. He was going to do his music. He was going to just stay in music. And like, he didn't like how he just kind of put his name out there. But it seemed like that was a family that they just did what their father said. Mm-hmm. They just did what their father said, and that's it. And yeah, it's kind of sad how all of them just died. Like, only one of them didn't kill himself. Mm-hmm. The one that died first. I mean, two of them if you count the real young. The child, the oldest brother who died at a young age, and then the one who in Japan. He said he had rupture something inside of him or something that happened.
Forget what it was, but I feel like even that. It's not suicide, but it's almost like complications due to like steroid or drug use. I think it was.
Exactly. Yeah, and just like them, I guess it's just them not wanting to disappoint their father or whatever, because he just put more pressure. And the way, and it was kind of messed up how he would say like, you don't take the glasses off, like you don't cry. Yeah. It's a reason why. I was like, it's my damn brother, man. I think it's the moment. This is the moment I can cry, man. Yeah, shit,
exactly.
Like,
especially for a guy who was as family oriented as Kevin is shown in that movie. Yeah, all he ever wanted to do was be with his brothers and hang out with them.
Yeah, that is that's very sad. And I guess was he estranged from his father ever since he sold the company?
Honestly, I don't totally know the story after that. I would imagine, based on what we saw there, that would have had to been the case, right? Because his father was very unhappy about, I mean, feel like maybe his father died shortly after that.
Yeah, because it's just is to me is it's sad that even after all the brothers died, the father just stood like him, just still wanted to be a part of that. Like he still wanted. It's like, dude, your sons are dead. Like, like you need to. It's always. I think this is a way to say move on. Yeah. Like this is. Or don't treat it like it's life or death or something like this. Like, good God. Yeah, man, this is very sad how that turned out. But happy for him. For it looks like he got a family and everything.
Oh man, his dad actually, his parents got divorced in 1992.
Oh, okay.
So that was probably shortly after they sold the company. Yeah, I think, because I feel like the stuff with the brother being in WWF had to been like early 90s. Maybe it was late 80s, but I think it was like early 90s. So yeah, that would have put that right around there. And then it looks like he died of brain and lung cancer in 1997.
But yeah, but overall it was a good movie though.
Yeah.
I mean, I did enjoy it. Also I saw the preview. I didn't know there was a Beetlejuice 2 coming out this year.
Yeah.
And I saw the trailer for that. I hope it turns out to be pretty good. They do have the least whatchamacallit coming back, or
Kevin
Ryder,
Costner and Winona Ryder, right?
And they have Michael Keaton.
That's what it is. Kevin Costner. Yeah, I don't know. Other Batman.
Okay, but also Ortega, the woman, who played Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
In that Netflix movie, and she's in a movie that's come out recently too. That's it didn't really get good reviews, but I know people have been talking about it because she's like, I guess, one of those new stars is really coming up.
Yeah, she's a new girl right now.
Yeah, so she's gonna be playing look like what we call his daughter, Winona Ryder's daughter. So, which is kind of fitting too, because she kind of reminds me of her. So or at least something like that. Like, but it's So I was like, oh, that's. I mean, I like Beetlejuice. I remember liking Beetlejuice. I haven't seen it so long. Now I'm actually watch the movie again. Mm-hmm. But I used to watch that a lot when I was little, man. I used to always watch that movie. And the only reason I knew that because I was looking up Transformers 1 and seeing what the hell that was.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was like, because I saw like a Transformers that's going to have Thor in it and shit. I was like, what is this? And then I saw the preview for that and trailer for that. And I mean, it seemed like a nice, funny movie or something like that. Almost like it almost seems kind of like lighthearted, funny Transformers movie. It's all in like computer animated look to it, and there's no humans. It takes place on Cybertron. I guess Cybertron. Yeah. Before they became Optimus Prime and Megatron, they're called other names now. Yeah, they're called
Steve and Joe.
They called something else, and this is when they were friends. And the people talk, and they said like you'll see how the voices grow into the voices that they are now. Well, Optimus Prime, and then the guy who talks for Megatron is the black dude. He was on Atlanta. Mm-hmm. He's British. I know that. He was on Atlanta. He was on that train movie with Brad Pitt that came out
Bullet Train
a couple years ago. Bullet Train. Yeah, he was that. He's that guy. He talks for Megatron. Scarlett Johansson talks for the girl robot, and I don't know who talks for Bumblebee.
Keegan-Michael Key.
Oh, okay.
And Brian Tyree Henry is Megatron.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, I mean, it seemed like I was like, oh, this looks like that's what he's probably one of the better Transformers movies, out because it's actually made like a kind of like a cartoon thing, basically, and it's like funny and stuff. I know the hardcore Transformers fans ain't gonna like it though, and say, hey, Megatron ain't that funny and stuff like there's too much jokes in here.
It's fine. We're gonna see his transformation, and then he's gonna kill everybody by the end of the movie.
All right, so what have you watched? So yeah, that's all I watched.
So
yeah, what have you watched?
I had forgotten last week, but it's probably better off because we went long last week. But I finished off X-Men 97, and yeah, that series is pretty awesome. It goes into stuff that I'm familiar with from the comics, but have never really like delved in depth into. Like I knew it was as it was happening, like, oh, these characters and this and that. But yeah, it really goes some places with that series. It's definitely a more serious take on that cartoon, and obviously designed for people that grew up watching that cartoon, but now are older and can maybe handle some of the more mature aspects of the show.
Then why they demature Rogue then, Daniel? Why they took her butt away?
Something about the woke mob, Dominic. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't too focused on the missing lines of her butt or whatever. Yeah, no, they do really good character development for everybody, including Rogue. Some really interesting aspects of the characters that I wasn't really that familiar with. Like they delve into a relationship between Rogue and Magneto. And then, of course, how Gambit, feels about that. Yeah, I just think it's really, really cool. I'm excited to see what they do with an additional season of this and what they do. Like, are they going to be able to tell a story as well as they did here with the movies once they start doing these live action X-Men movies? Or are they wasting, not wasting, but are they using up all their material here and then that movie's just going to kind of fall apart? I don't know. But yeah, I'd highly recommend that show if you've got Disney Plus and you're looking to check that out. And then I did finish off Godzilla -1. I think just I'll follow up to the praise I was giving it last week and you were giving it. Yeah, it's easily the best Godzilla movie I've ever seen. I think it really is quite clever the way that they do that CG Godzilla, because especially once he gets on land, because I didn't see it as much when you were talking about how they kind of pay homage to the guy in the rubber suit. But once you see him on land and the way Godzilla moves, it feels very like almost claymation-y, stop motion-y, very like abrupt, short movements. I think that looked really cool. But yeah, the human story that they tell there is just easily the best thing I've seen tied to a Godzilla movie. Just the character coming off of being a kamikaze pilot who basically figured out a way to not kill himself, but struggling with that. What I guess you would consider, or what he considered, cowardice, and trying to basically make up for that in the events of Godzilla coming to power and coming in and destroying the city, and seeing his struggle with that and the people around him and how it was affecting them as well. I thought it was just incredibly done. I thought it was very well done. I really want to see that movie make a bigger splash, when it comes out in America on DVD or Blu-ray or whatever. And I'd be interested to see if they'd be willing to, put it back out in theaters again around the time that comes out on Blu-ray.
I know someone I know, because they saw it in theaters. They said they watched it in the black and white, and they said they liked it a lot.
Yeah,
seeing it in black and white. I'm not. I mean, that's kind of cool, but I want to still see it in the color.
Yeah, there's definitely like a cool aspect to that, as a bonus feature on a Blu-ray. But yeah, I don't know that that's necessarily the way I would prefer to see it necessarily.
Nah, I'm like. Because all I say, because to that stuff, man, I mean, I feel like it has to be an art to you doing black and white nowadays. It has to be something like not just because you can do it, but it's like it's something that really fits with what the movie is
Yeah.
that you're doing in black and white. Not because all I say is that the only reason they did black and white back in the day is because they didn't have they didn't have color.
Exactly.
Yeah, they had color. That's the only reason. So yes, so that's not making it like, oh, this was the good time. No, they would have got color if they had it. They could have.
They would have 4K renders if they could.
Yeah.
But can't praise that movie.
But yeah, that was a movie. Yeah, the movie, man. I know. Yeah, it is. It was a great movie. I was surprised. Like, I mean, I heard people how great it was, but then I was just thinking like, oh, y'all just Japanese people who just not Japanese people, but y'all just those people who just love Japan. Yeah, it's like so everything's gonna be better there. Y'all probably just love yeah, just love anime. Everything anime is great and better than anything made in America. But when I saw it, I said, "Oh man, this is actually a damn good movie." Mm-hmm. I wish some of the anime was made like this, pretty good.
It'll get there, Dominic. It'll get there.
All right. So I guess we can move on to what we were playing. So you didn't play anything? You didn't play no more Animal Well?
Nothing. No, not enough to say anything new about it.
Oh, okay. I played some Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice. That's the first one. Mm-hmm. Since Senua's Saga is out, but I was like, you know what? Maybe I should play this first one. So far, yeah, it's kind of what I thought. I was thinking like a very like graphically looks great, like walking simulator kind of game. But it's more than that. I mean, it's more than just a walking simulator. I thought it was really more like. I mean, I did feel like, but it is very strong on story. It's very little action. Like, I did record some. I actually recorded it, me playing it through the Oculus, the Quest 2, I guess it's called Meta Quest 2. Because it was like really warm in the room, so I was like, man, I don't want to be up here. So I just, since they got the, it's still in beta, I guess, technically. They got the Xbox Cloud on the Oculus now, so I just played through the streaming, and it worked pretty well. Okay. So I played through that game a bit up there, and I finally got to a part where you do combat, and it's really like timing and dodging. It's a nature. It looks real nice, but it's not really complicated or anything. And the puzzles I done is very like. So far, it's like you just trying to measure these, like find these symbols you see on the door and try to find them in the world where you kind of make the aspect of what you see to match the symbols of like the environment. And that's, so I mean, it was fun trying to figure that out. And yeah, the whole whispering thing, happening, like hearing them, cause I got the headphones on and stuff, like through the ears, like your mind going crazy, like people talking to you and things of that nature. I think that's pretty neat too. It really creates an atmosphere there like that. I mean it's all right game. Like it's one of those games like those I like to call artsy fartsy games. That's pretty cool. Like that. And so that's why when like Microsoft making a big deal about the second one and everybody is like saying, oh, they got the studio. When they first got the studio, I never thought of it like a big game like a Halo or nothing. I just thought it was like nice that Microsoft, okay, they got the studio and they can make a game. I never put the game on par with like if you was trying to compare it to the Sony first person games. Yeah. I mean first party games. I never put it like, oh yeah, this is going to go against like this is their Last of Us or whatever, or Uncharted or something, or a God of War. I never thought of it like that. I just thought it was like one of those like kind of indie. Well, it's not really indie studio at the like because they used to be. I mean, they be with other company. Yeah, but now they with Microsoft. But the guys who worked on Enslaved and them, but they just did a smaller game that really good, but it wasn't that big. And I was like, oh, Microsoft got them. That's nice. Yeah. So, but yeah, when Microsoft really driving it home like this big game, it did feel like, oh, are they going to do more with this game than what I thought it was? 'Cause even though I never fully played Senua's Sacrifice, I just didn't see it as that game. And from what I read described and what I saw, so I was like, maybe they're going to do a lot more. But from what I heard, I mean, it's a short game, but it's still good. For what I've read, and some of the reviews are still good, a good game, but yeah, I mean, which is I don't know, it's a disappointing because it's just not what it's not what's my expectations. But it seems like I guess some people were expecting, like some people were expecting more. Not as far as critics go, but as far as just regular people I see, like on Twitter, like they're expecting like a huge, like, oh, this is gonna be like a huge game or something. And I was like, I don't think that was ever the thing, but but whatever. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that your expectation was like that, but I'm just thinking like, did y'all play the first game? And then if you did, why did you? And what gave you the impression that it was going to be something more? Was it because I just don't remember? I mean, yes, Microsoft did promote it. I mean, before. I mean, they ain't promoted. People say like, oh, they're not promoting this game a lot now, but they were pushing it when they had those shows.
I think it's just because that's the only game they had. It feels like at this point.
Yeah, but still, I mean, yeah. I guess that's it. Because you think it's the only game, so you think it's going to be really... I guess it's like, well, maybe they're going to push this because it's big. But I just think timing is everything. There's just no other game coming out, and that was the one that's ready. Exactly. And it's not going to be bigger just because it's the one.
No.
It is what it is.
Especially because, like, Ninja Theory, I feel like we learned that lesson from, Heavenly Sword. Because that was, like... the big game coming from them and for PlayStation 3.
PS3.
And then it came out and it was fine, but it wasn't fine, amazing. And then, the
best games they done to me is Enslaved and DMC. Yeah, and you see some people, look, Dan, there's a lot of people like us who like DMC, who really like DMC. And I'm one of those people who like DMC better than the Devil May Cry.
Yeah,
like I think it's better. I think it's a whole lot better, and because I think people expect. I mean, maybe because I expect certain things. It's like I like story. I like story that makes sense and still have fun. While Devil May Cry, I liked it. Like, see, I liked the first one a lot, but I also was a teenager in high school, so story wasn't too. I mean, even though I like story, but I could live with a shitty story I thought was good. Honestly, I didn't know enough. Yeah. But as I got more mature and stuff, and really reading, I go back and play Devil May Cry. I was like, the story ain't great, but it's a fun game. And just like some of the other games, like 3, story ain't great, but it's a fun game. But DMC, I find like the story is it's acceptable. It's definitely better than this. I didn't say it's great, but it's. Listen, compared to what Devil May Cry was, that story was great. Compared to what Devil May Cry story is, it's very like gamey anime, which is like if you think like the worst kind of anime and how game story traditionally is, which is not really great. That's what it was, and it's fun for what it is at the time. And if you're good with that. But I'm sorry, DMC was just a better game overall to me, like, compared to that one. And that's why I didn't get the hate. Like, the hate for that game, I'm like, what the fuck? Are you serious? And, like, y'all were all happy with, like, people were saying, like, oh, this, it's not good. Like, they still like Devil May Cry 4 better, which I didn't. I was like, nah, man. I said, whatever. But yeah, I'm gonna play some more of this game because I do want to beat it. I do want to beat the first one. And now I'm gonna go through the second one because I think visually it looks really good.
Oh yeah.
And that's just the first game. And I know the second one looks great. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what I've seen. That looks really good. So yeah, I'm gonna go through this game and play through it. Since it's and being short, that's pretty good too. That's good too. That means I don't just spend a whole lot of time on it. What else have I played? I played some more IGN Chronicles 100 Heroes. Man, I've been doing a lot of side quests, like trying to get recruit people. I just know this, like whoever made this god I'm looking at, I guess he was not getting paid enough because it is not giving me the right information to find people because I was the first time thinking my game was glitched, and then when I looked somewhere else, somebody asked a question like, how do you get this guy? And then the people told them how. They said, oh, I guess the god. They said, oh, now I see the problem. The god was wrong. I was like, oh, he must be reading the same god I was reading then. Because it was telling me go this one, like, it said this guy will be available after this one event. but it's actually an event that's later in the game. And I was like, oh, you got me wasting my fucking time. But I've been doing like I'm doing like side quests. It's almost similar. It's a game in this game that's kind of similar to like, well, I'm gonna say Pokemon, but if you're a person who played all those type of games like Bakugan, I don't know nothing about Bakugan, but I know Bakugan is spinning tops. That's all I know about it, and I'm guessing maybe this is closer to Bakugan than Pokemon because it is spinning tops. And since I don't know how Bakugan works, have you ever seen Bakugan? I don't know how that even works. Like, how do you play that game?
I don't know. Yeah, because they're like the Bakugans are the ball ones, right? Because Beyblades are the spinning tops.
Oh, my fault then. Beyblade then. Okay, well then Beyblade. This is probably more like Beyblade.
Oh, okay, it is okay. Yeah, I mean that is basically like you rip them and then they hit each other and then whichever one stops spinning first is basically the loser.
Yeah, and that's what this game is.
Oh, okay.
But wait a minute. So what about how do you? But you get different monsters. So are monsters supposed to be stronger than the other ones?
I think they have different like weights to them and different like extra dongly bits. So you might have like a top that has like extra little blade shaped plastic pieces that spin out and
that's how it is in this game too. So they so they stole Beyblade. This is Beyblade basically.
Hey man, nobody's using it right now.
Yeah. So they got like a little Beyblade thing where I'm going around playing people and then the dialogue is even, I think they even do it purposely to sound like, you know, probably how the cartoon was maybe. It kind of reminds me, well, when me comes like Yu-Gi-Oh, like you can even say things like, somebody said, are you gonna, say you gonna play or something like that? And the guy said, yeah, he said, I'm playing for like my heart or some corny ass shit and like that you say. And I was like, yeah.
Ah, yes, the heart really of the cards.
Yeah, they're going really hard with that. And then you name your your Beyblade, whatever, your spinner. I guess you name your spinner because you got different tops. So I guess you my spinner is called World Peace. Or something like that. Like world it's like a swirl world.
Yeah,
like it's
World Peace.
It's so corny and stupid. But now you got this. Now it's this guy though. And right now I'm going through the four elites in the Pokemon. Like I said, I don't know Beyblade, so maybe they have something like that too. Most likely. Like I'm going through they call them the four Sentinels or whatever. I'm facing them off, because I'm trying to get stronger, so I can face this guy called Crush, who is going around and he's got the spinning top where it cheats. And it the spinner cuts other people's tops, destroys them, but they have to get repaired. So I'm trying to beef up to go against him in that. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And I still playing that card game sometimes. Sometimes I play this cooking game. It's where you put these recipes and the judges have to judge. Like you get your appetizer, main course, and then dessert. And you go against these cooks, like the syndicate. They call them the something syndicate. And like you're not really cooking. It's like a cook, but you're helping him. He's on your team, so you kind of controlling the cook. And yeah, that's fun doing that. There's some cool ass mini games in this game. That's pretty fun, and it's like really a story to it. Also, although I do hate the racing. It's the sand boat racing. The controls were so fucking horrible. Like, and then I realized somebody said like, don't use analog. You can use the directional pad. That's what a lot of people said. Like, holy crap, it makes the whole so much more easier. I said, why did they do this? I said, why didn't they tell me to use the directional pad? Even though you can use analog. It's like the analog I don't know. They must have not done the controls right for the analog or whatever. Because it's like you be going forward and then it'll just slow down. And even the directional pad occasionally it messes up. But it was a whole lot easier for me to go through the first four matches. But I'm on the hardest one now, and now it's really hard for me to beat it now. And I don't think I need to. From what it looks like, I don't need to win to unlock a hero, so that's good. But I wanted to since I was there, I was like, I wanted to win, but it's just getting too frustrating, so I just stopped.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm still going through the story. I don't know how far I am. I think I still got maybe I am at the halfway point, or probably a little past the halfway point. But yeah, I mean, I was enjoying this game a whole lot more than I thought I would. It's actually it's an okay story. It's a basic story that but I do like the heroes. I like how they're different personalities. Though there are only certain ones you can use at certain points of the story, unless you're doing like if you're in between story, you can put other heroes just to go around the world. But to continue the story, you're gonna have to have specific heroes there because that's the characters who's gonna be talking and things of that nature. But like it's different combinations you can do because when I lock a new hero, then that's like, oh, this hero can actually do a hero combo with this guy, something like that. Because like I still got some heroes that don't have a hero combo, so I'm thinking like, oh, there must be characters later in the game where I can do a hero combo later on with them. Mm-hmm. And I finally got all the characters from that first game I played. The Horizon something whatever. IGN Chronicles Rising something, but so I got all of them, and they had a side quest which I just finished with them. So that was cool, like to have them around. And yeah, so and how that and then you also see how the story connects from what they were doing to what I'm doing now. So it's a lot to this game. Like this game is I really just thought like it was like, hey, this is something like what the game I played last year. What was it called? The one that came out on Xbox, I gave it like one of my game of the years. It was on my top 10. Darn, what was it called? I thought it was something like that, like something simple, not too complicated, but very good. Man, I honestly didn't think it was going to be I thought it was going to just be good. I didn't think it was going to be like I really like this. Like, story wise, I think it's probably not better than that game. Which hold on, I gotta look it up. I think it should be still on Game Pass. I didn't hear it go away. I play a lot of games. Oh, Sea of Stars. That's what's called.
Oh, okay.
Sea of Stars. So yeah, I think Sea of Stars story is better, but then again, Sea of Stars, I mean, no offense, it's just that because it is American, I think, but not American, Western writers with this one. I just think like it's just a story I can more relate to because it's more westernized. This one, I mean, not that I say I can't relate to this story or anything. It's just, but it's not. It's like a simple story. Like Sea of Stars did something a little different with how they did their one of the characters. Like one of the characters in like Sea of Stars was done in a way that I never expected. Like how this character was like probably the best character in the game, even though he wasn't the main character. But he was very important to the story though. This is a more simplified way, but it's still good. Like it's still got your basic like, guy, hero, and like he's just one like the main character is the guy. He just wants to help everybody. It's nothing really complicated about his past. I mean, yes, I think his parents died or something at an early age, which it seemed like this is always a thing. There's always parents just never just alive. It's like, why can't people and have parents that's just alive? It's like heroes always have to have parents that are dead. But he has a sister that she's out there. She's out here doing her own thing or whatever. But just to having all the different characters in the game and how much is in this game, like this is like a full game. Like this is more than what I thought. I mean, I didn't read much about this game, so maybe it shouldn't be so surprising for me, but it is. I didn't think it was gonna be like a full-on RPG taking hours. Honestly, I thought it was gonna be. I mean, probably take a long time, but it was simple. It's like a simple, straightforward RPG. Like it's just, but it has a lot to it. So yeah, this is probably one of my top new games I played so far this year. What else have I tried out? Let me get back to this page here. I also played some more Vampire Survivors. I went back to that because some new DLC opened up for it. I did play one of those Contra-like levels that was kind of like you were in space and just kind of killing a bunch of aliens. I'm trying to think, did I use any new power? I think I did, but I can't remember. Because that was like, actually, that was like a couple weeks ago when I played it, and I just don't remember. And when I played it recently, I was playing one of the old adventure stages because I didn't finish that. So I didn't really unlock any of the new ones, even though there's still some ones I haven't unlocked, weapons I haven't unlocked because of the other DLC I haven't fully done yet. So it's a lot there for this game now for me, man. I mean, compared to what I started out with playing, I mean, I felt like it was a lot there because it took a while for me to even get really close to completing that. And now with all this DLC is coming out, that's been out now. Yeah, Vampire Survivors, man, they keeping the game alive, and I'm happy. I'm happy, and
Definitely.
And the other games that are supposedly similar to it, I don't hear anything about them.
No, not in the same way.
That came out.
I just saw one recently that came out, or I don't know. I think it went into early access, and like I saw one thing about it, but like nobody's talking about it. It doesn't look particularly interesting either. Like there's nothing like visually interesting about it in the same way that Vampire Survivors, and almost like it from the gameplay video that I watched, like it was kind of hard to follow the action because it wasn't like didn't have a distinct look to it.
Yeah, I want to know the same game because I can't remember what it was called too. Because I remember looking at something like, "Hey, this is similar to Vampire Survivors and something else," and then I was looking, I was like, yeah, I just like I'll wait till later on and see if anybody talk about it because Vampire Survivors is still going and I'm still liking it, so I'm just there with that. Yeah. Also, Immortals is available for us to play. On Xbox Game Pass with EA Play. So I tried it out on the I tried it on my PC. It wasn't running that well, so I said I was going to play it through Xbox Cloud, and I was bored, and so I stopped playing.
Oh man.
I didn't get really far in the story. Like the story, I didn't even get really to a point where I was fighting enemies. I kind of went to the tutorial area. Like it's just a very early story part. But I just was not interested in going any further. Like, maybe I have to wait some time when I'm like, okay, I want to get into this game. I don't know if it's that feeling, but it's just that I wanted something to happen real quick. And I was like, it's like, can we just hurry get some action now? And it wasn't getting to action fast enough for me to even do anything. So I said, yeah, I'll just play some other time. Maybe I'll jump in at some other time to do it, where I can just feel like going through that game. But yeah, I just wasn't it was starting to a little too slow for me. Like visual but I would say this, visually it doesn't look good through Xbox Game Cloud. I know that. The Xbox game, I don't know, man. I don't know why. It was doing it, and it didn't give me any no, like nothing to like make it look like performance or anything like that. Yeah. I couldn't do it. And now I'm hearing that people I don't know if it's true. Like I said, it's just people talking on Twitter because this is when I was trying to start Starfield just to see the new stuff to put in there as far as like performance stuff. But people are saying that like I didn't see it though, the Xbox Game Cloud. Like I didn't see none. I thought they said it was live, and then people are saying that that's because it's running on an Xbox Series S and not an X. I thought they were running on X's.
Yeah, I thought they were running on X's. I thought that's what they had said.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, I don't know what's true then. And so I was like, because I'm confused. Because if it was running on X, I should be able to change performance. But I couldn't. So then, yeah, so I was like, oh, is that what it... I could have sworn they were running on X's. And if they're not, fuck them then. Fuck them. So now I can't so now I can't even do the Starfield thing unless I have a new console. Xbox Series X just to see what it is, or just get a better PC where I don't even care about that. So I can't even see like the advantages of it. I mean, but there was some other things besides the performance stuff that they did change. I just don't know all the details. It's quite a few stuff, but I didn't look into it because they changed some stuff before this, like a month or 2 months ago, or whatever. But I haven't been playing it. Um, is that it? I played. Yep, that's all I played. So I guess we'll take a quick break. When we get back, we get to the flashback segment.
All right.
And we're back. So now we're flashbacking to 2024. We got a few games in this flashback segment. I said 2024. Well, we gotta go leave 2024 to go to 2014.
Went too far.
And so now we're looking at. So we got a couple games to mention for 2014 that came out 10 years ago. Let me see here. How many we got here? Only two. Two for 2014. We got Transistor is on has come out for 10 years ago.
Yeah.
What's the game? Who made this game?
Supergiant, the same team that made like Hades and Bastion.
Yes, that's what it is. Yes, exactly. Bastion. I was trying to remember the game before that. Yeah. Yes, right. Bastion. Yep. And the guys who gave Hades. Yep. And this was a good game. I mean, all the games they made were pretty good.
Yeah.
It seems like. Just I actually did play this game. I played this actually more than Bastion. But I never finished it. I believe it's probably one of those games I got for free on PlayStation Plus, maybe. I'm not sure, but I know I didn't. Yeah, I know I didn't buy this game.
Yeah,
but I liked it. It was like in that isometric view action game. It had some puzzles. Actually, did it have puzzles? I have no idea.
I don't recall, honestly. I don't remember playing it too much. I remember you talking about it and playing a little bit around that time because I feel like you played some, once we started recording the podcast. And I ended up playing some of it, but never really getting too into it, even though it seemed really cool.
I did. I mean, I did like it. I threw a lot of it, and I don't remember the story. I know it was weird. I know it was some kind of weird story. What's that? You play as Red, a popular singer in the city of Cloud Bank, kneels by the body of a man who has been killed with the glowing greatsword, the Transistor. The attack took away her voice, sealing it inside the Transistor. So her voice is inside the sword, and the sword also absorbed the man's consciousness. That's right. Yeah, I remember that being weird. Yeah. And through it, he's able to speak to Red, acting as her guide and the game's narrator. Yeah. I remember, the sword was talking to you and everything. I never did complete it, but it did get rated pretty well, man. I mean, it got 83 on Metacritic for PS4, PC, and it came on. Oh, it never came on Xbox? Oh, okay. So but I know I definitely did play it. It had to be probably PS4 then. Maybe it was a PlayStation Plus. iOS. It came on. Oh, iOS got 93. Got a high grade.
They're not used to good games, though.
Yeah. All right. So man, this is Supergiant, and like this is the end up. I think after this Hades, or was there another game?
No, I think
before Hades,
Pyre was in there. somewhere.
Pyre. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Pyre. I totally forgot about that game. And that was pretty good too. That was in the 80s. Mm-hmm. They do not like Xbox. Because that was not on Xbox either.
That's so weird. I thought I remembered seeing Transistor on Xbox, but I guess it never did come out. Guess they had some kind of deal there.
All right. So the one other game that came out 10 years ago, Wolfenstein New Order. This was the Wolfenstein basically being reborn. As a woke game, as people will say today.
Yes, denazification of America.
Yes, say how dare you? Yeah, exactly. It's like how dare they treat Nazis that way? They're people too. So this was Wolfenstein, like a new type of story. A more kind of reminds you of like what's the director name? The guy that did Pulp Fiction.
Oh,
and then
Quentin
Inglourious
Tarantino.
Bastards.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of had almost like because
It's
it was
over
a
the
very
top, and that's in a similar way. Yeah.
Oh, exactly. It's like a really over the top look at World War II, and then because comedic fast, that kind of dark comedy fashion, and but the story was good. The gameplay was I thought was pretty great, and yeah, it was fun as hell.
Oh yeah,
it was
absolutely.
definitely fun playing that game, and yeah, because I remember you telling me I think you played. Yeah, you definitely played before I did, and then I tried. I said, "Oh, Darren, this game is pretty good." And yeah, because we went through different points of the game. Because
yeah, because they
on your
split.
playthrough, you didn't see basically Jimi Hendrix, and because you kept it's somebody you keep alive at the beginning that kind of changes things. I think you let the young dude die while the other guy lived. And then I said I was going to do another playthrough just to see how it looked, and I think I started it, but I never did finish it. It's just so many games, man.
It's really are.
but that game that's cool that they even had that they had like, hey, you can have different endings and things like playthroughs story wise with this game.
Yeah, it was much deeper than just like a generic first person shooter, which seemed like what it was going to be. And then, Machine Games absolutely killed it with this game.
Yeah, like with them, like this is you talking about this game as one of like the hallmarks of first person shooters. This Wolfenstein, like one of the first like really good first person shooters. Then you have Doom, another one that came out after, and they both changed. They both changed. Like Doom came out later on, but they became great too with these changes. I just want to know where is it going to be for it, like going down though.
Yeah.
Like what is Wolfenstein going to be if there is a new Wolfenstein?
Yeah,
I mean, honestly,
right now those guys are working on the Indiana Jones game.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and I'm okay with that. Like I don't need it to be another Wolfenstein, honestly, because I mean, anything you're going away from that. I mean, I don't know how the story goes. I mean, if there is one, that's fine. But I don't need it to be either. I mean, if they can just do something new or something. Because it's Wolfenstein. I don't look at it as a game almost like Doom, kind of like Doom. Doom is like, because it's not really big on the story.
Right.
It's really just big on just the action and quickly like killing all these different type of enemies. So I can see another Doom happening. Wolfenstein, I mean, not that I can't see it happen, just that if it doesn't, because I get it, it's a more story-driven game also, and story's in, and usually when story-driven games you keep going, they stop being good. I mean, I haven't seen one where a big story-driven game has kept going and going, and it was good.
Yeah.
All right, so that's it for 2014. So now we're going back 20 years to 2004. And we have one game really to mention is Mario vs. Donkey Kong. So What is this, Daniel?
So Mario vs. Donkey Kong, this is kind of the successor to I think Donkey Kong 94, I think it was called, on the Game Boy. This is the more puzzle oriented where you play as Mario and you're kind of having these one screen puzzle.
And I think Donkey Kong 94 came out 30 years ago. I should have put it up there.
Well, that would be funny that they released them that way. Yeah, I guess 94. That makes sense. But yeah, I remember playing this on the emulator back in the day and thinking it was a nice different take for me on a Mario game, especially because it's almost like a Donkey Kong-esque game where, instead of playing Jumpman, the original Mario, you play as actual Mario and kind of have his move set and powers and stuff.
Next month.
Oh, okay.
So I have to say that, yeah.
Nice.
So almost.
Yeah, and it's really clever. They do a good job of making the puzzles interesting and kind of improving the mechanics throughout the game, so you kind of get a different thing going on.
See, I didn't know about Donkey Kong 94. I didn't know about it. Till after even this game, years later.
No, same with me. Absolutely.
Here's the thing. I seen Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
They didn't call it Donkey Kong 94. It was just called Donkey Kong.
Yeah,
on the box. I thought it was just Donkey Kong, like the old Donkey Kong.
Right.
So that's why I didn't.
I don't want this.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, so I didn't even think about like when again. I was thinking it's like, oh, it's just like the old game on Nintendo.
Yeah.
But yeah, so darn, that actually turned out to be a pretty good game. And yeah, they got a successor. Yeah, Donkey Kong vs. Yeah, I remember seeing that. I thought that was pretty cool. It's like, oh, that's cool that they did something like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I never played it. Yeah, I don't think I ever played any of those games, those Mario vs. Donkey Kong type of games. I just seen them. I mean, not that I was interested. It's just I was pretty limited on what games to get for. Well, I didn't have a Game Boy Advance. I had a DS, but it was like certain games I was getting, and certain games since So I just didn't. Some games I just didn't touch, even though I thought they were interesting.
Yeah, for me that stuff was strictly sailing the seven seas because it was just so easily available out there at that time, especially for for a modern console. A console that was actively released at that time, you could just go online and play those games very easily. It was crazy.
All right, so that's it for the flashback segment. So I guess we'll take a quick break, and when we get back, we get to the gaming news.
All right.
And we're back. So let's get to the gaming news. What we got, Dan?
All right, Dominic. First up, Nintendo's out here acquiring studios now, apparently. They picked up Shiver Entertainment from Embracer Group. This is the development team that has been responsible for Switch ports such as Mortal Kombat 11 and Hogwarts Legacy, which I think for what they are have both been praised, pretty well. For their ability to get those higher end games running on the Switch. I think, with the way Embracer has just been folding, absolutely, it makes sense for Nintendo to pick up a technical studio like this that could they could basically loan out to third parties if they wanted to get some help with development of Switch 2 games. That way that you could, get more games on the Switch too, basically. Higher profile things. So that move makes sense.
It does. Yeah, it sounds like it does. So that's cool.
Yeah. I'm sure they got it for a song, as some people say. Yeah. All right. In some other news, Dominic, this one is strictly rumors, but it's coming from some pretty credible sources. Nate the Great and Nate the Hate, I think they're the same person. It's a Twitter poster that also has podcasts and stuff. Has
Nate the Hate,
yeah, and they report on a lot of rumors. But this seems pretty definitive. The next game coming out of it is going to be another Doom game. This time a prequel. I think we talked around last year that they were talking about making a prequel game for Doom. Apparently the title is going to be The Dark Ages, Doom The Dark Ages, and it's going to be kind of a medieval theme thing where you basically see the origins of the Doom Slayer. This is expected.
The 90s.
Yes, the 90s. I mean, that's definitely when the Doom Slayer is from. He's 90s baby through and through. But it sounds like this is going to be, kind of one of the big pillars of Microsoft Showcase coming up in June. And they also expect it to come to the PS5. So this is going to be kind of one of the first big things that Microsoft is going to launch as a multi-platform experience, it seems like.
So it is coming to PS5. Yeah. Well, that means Doom never left.
Exactly. Yeah, just continuing the legacy. So as much as I like that Doom, the first one, and I would like to get around to playing that second one, I think it's from everything I've heard, it's basically more of the same and in some ways better. I would have liked them to branch off in another direction, maybe give Quake, kind of the Doom treatment, the updating and bringing it into the modern era while giving it its own kind of unique thing.
Yeah.
Especially, we talked about with Wolfenstein just now with the flashback segment. It's like, what's so interesting about the fact that Wolfenstein and Doom both got these revivals that were so successful is they're also wildly different. Like, they didn't take the same approach. And I'd really like to see if they could do something with Doom or with Quake and have that similar thing where it's, this really big revival, but doesn't necessarily fall in line with either of those two games either.
Who owns Heretic? Is it them too?
I think Microsoft does now. I don't know if that's like a Raven thing or where it comes from, but I think Heretic is the one that Phil Spencer wore a shirt of the other year at their thing. It was either that or Hexen, but I think it was Heretic. That's another one that, like, I don't know, maybe you figure out a way to like meld those mythologies, because those games were very much.
What's the other one called? The one with the Painkiller?
Oh yeah, Painkiller. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Painkiller is very much like, it felt like kind of a spiritual.
They had a stake shooter or whatever.
Yeah, where you could shoot them into the wall and then they would. Yeah. That felt like kind of a spiritual successor to one of those style games, more gothic and a little bit horror-y, but not quite. I mean, with a medieval version of Doom, like, I would hope that maybe they would go in that direction and maybe somehow, meld those together. Again, I don't know, like, those always felt like contemporaries. Like, I almost associated them with, like, okay, this is probably made by the same people that made Doom, but I don't know that was ever the case. And I don't know how those properties have crossed.
I just think they did it. They had the Doom and they made a mod and then made a game out of it.
That's probably how it happened. There's a lot of stuff that came out like that. All right. And then the last story I got here is IGN has acquired Eurogamer, VG247, Rock Paper Shotgun, GamesIndustry.biz, and a couple other websites. It's funny because we've talked a lot about consolidation over the past couple of years with the whole Microsoft Activision thing, which I've been pretty positive on up until maybe a little more recently when Microsoft is shown to be faltering a little bit with some of that stuff. But this just immediately triggered my like no way signs, because IGN is a website that I haven't gone to regularly in probably decade at this point.
He got too woke for you, yeah.
Hey, it got to, yeah, so that's what it was. And it's not like I'm frequenting Eurogamer necessarily, but Eurogamer does have Digital Foundry kind of as an offshoot, which does incredibly different coverage of games.
I went to Eurogamer more, well, I don't know, maybe I went to IGN probably more, but only because of his name. Only like I never went to purposely go to IGN like that. I never like typed it in. It might have been like I looking at an article and they happen to come up. But I have gone to Eurogamer a lot too. Like probably more so.
They have a simple, clean design that I appreciated much in the same way.
I think that's what it is.
Game Informer.
Yeah.
Although I think recently that has also changed, because like I'm looking at it now and it's like, this is not exactly the way I like to consume things. I always like going to Eurogamer and then seeing the stuff that's like sale for this, and then I'm like, oh yeah, they're talking about like European Amazon or whatever, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm in the wrong place.
Yeah, exactly. I'd be like, well, what the hell I'm looking at this for? not realizing like it says Eurogamer. I was thinking like Europeans just don't look at the internet. So I was like, I was like, come on.
Yeah. And then
you should know I'm reading it. You should only put the American
exactly. You know where I'm at. You put all the cookies in my browser. But like when I wanted more serious news or takes, I would look at like GamesIndustry.biz and Rock Paper Shotgun. They usually had more critical, coverage of video games.
Rock Paper Shotgun is the serious news. Yes, that title.
Now I wonder if they acquired these to like diversify so that they still have, they have control of this stuff, but they're looking to have IGN, which is more the entertainment side, and then like gamesindustry.biz, which is more the industry side. Or if all this stuff is going to get kind of folded into IGN and all of these websites are going to go away. That's what I feel like. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like redundancies. I saw something on somebody writing, and I'm like, yeah, man, I would. Man, I hope that's the case, but the way things are going, I just can't see it not being a case where they get rid of some of these places.
Exactly. 'Cause the reality is, the whole games media thing is, I think, in a very troubling place because so many people have moved to coverage from like podcasts or YouTube videos. There's not a lot of written stuff anymore. I mean, even like we look at Game Informer, and it's basically like they've let go of 90% of their staff over the years, and there's like one guy that makes an article every couple of days about like whatever the biggest story is, and that's kind of about it. That's why I still find myself trying to go to like a Destructoid and a Kotaku, but they've kind of fallen into the same thing where like, okay, they're more like Destructoid is a lot of guides now, and with every release of a big game you get 2 pages worth of articles about like, oh, this feature in World 2 and this feature in World 3, and it's like, oh, okay, you're a slave to the algorithm at this point, basically. And that's unfortunate. It's, you still get like some of the more serious stuff, like the Jason Schreier stuff from your Wall Street Journal, but you're going to have to pay for that. And, then you have your enthusiast stuff, which I feel like is more what IGN is presenting and what you'll get from like a YouTube video and even to an extent a podcast, depending on who you're listening to. And this kind of like middle ground is disappearing, especially because you have these companies who have a more direct line to the fans now too. You can tell them to hop on your Discord or, look at your Twitter or whatever, and they can get basically what people were putting on these websites as regurgitations of press, releases. And now you just have it directly from the company. Every couple of days I get an email from Nintendo like, here's our latest game. And it's like, oh, I would have heard this announcement from someplace else, and now I'm just getting it directly from you. Thanks a lot, I guess. So yeah, I'm worried about more of this. Like, we're really down to IGN and GameSpot at this point, and even GameSpot with like the mergers and the purchases, and now they're owned by Fandom. I don't know that website, I don't really go to them much anymore, but I don't know that website is really being updated, as frequently as maybe I would like. But I guess I'm part of the problem if I'm not going there often enough to find out. But yeah, just
it's the kids' fault.
It's the kids.
The young people's fault. They supposed to be.
They just want to get their gaming news from TikTok.
Exactly.
So.
Started with their YouTube people, like PewDiePie and stuff, and now.
And then their attention span got smaller and smaller.
Yep. Now there's a TikTok with like a 15-second take on how bad this game is.
We got to corner the market in 5-second videos, Dominic. You just like, you put the text overlay of the game name, and then it's just me going, it's bad. It's good. Yeah. Buy it. I'm going to start that channel if it doesn't like already exist.
Woke game. Woke.
Yes. God, that'll get us. That'll get us the numbers that we want.
Yep. So that could be that guy.
We'll be morally bankrupt.
I'm not racist. I like this black guy right here. He's saying these games are woke.
Exactly. Dominic, can we get you to do that? Can we get you to just Assassin's Creed Shadows woke?
Yeah.
You saying it, and everybody will flock to you because
I gotta make sure I leave this ADOS group so I won't give them bad names and I'm part of it. So you got this guy up here doing YouTube videos.
I did my research, and you know,
yeah.
I heard he's connected with this group. Yeah. So, I'm worried about what this means for games media, especially because I do like to consume some of this stuff. But yeah, I find myself as I get older, there was definitely a point where I would rather consume stuff via video or podcasts. But now I'm like, sometimes I just want to get to the point, and it's easier for me to scan through an article and get to that point than it is, That's
what it is, man. And I think that's why I've always felt, like visual, I like, but thing is, some of the visual stuff, people, their introductions, and then they're talking, and I'm like, I just wanted to see where you get that treasure chest at.
Mm-hmm. It's especially egregious in guides. Yeah, it's like, why is this a 2-minute video and your intro is a minute 30? And then you have an ad for like Gamer Oats or something in the middle of it. Like, what's going on here?
And that's why I gave you that. I think I gave you a tweet about how, like, used to getting guides. Mm-hmm. I used to always get guides. Even my friend was like, man, I just get, like, even when it's more accessible for me to get things off the internet. That's a friend said, I always just get all the internet. And I was like, because I had to go search for it, and then I gotta go through it. And when the guide, I have it in my hand. Mm-hmm. So I just, like, I'm playing my game, I open my guide.
Boom.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Used to love a guide.
Easier for me to do. Yeah. It's just easier. Yeah, I get it. And, like, guides would get expensive, but that was just my, I just invested in it. I was like, well,
that was part of the game price. You bought it. Yeah. That's how you got your $70 games right there, Dominic. It was
yeah.
$40 for a game, $20 for a guide.
It was like, 15, between 15 and 20. I remember like 15 was the high at one point.
Yeah.
And,
sometimes you would get like the unofficial one for like $9.99 or something like that.
But thing is, as years go on, there was less unofficials.
Yep.
Like Brady Games just bought everybody or something like that. I don't know. They just, it was like Brady Games and one other
Prima.
Yeah, Prima. I used to like Brady Games better as far as, it all depends on the game too. But because I was like, I like the Brady Games one better because it just seems better. But then I start seeing how some guides, even the ones that look like that may be worse, they were still better guides, and because they had more stuff. Because my friend had the Brady Games Final Fantasy guide, Final Fantasy 7 guide.
Yep.
While I had the unofficial one.
Mm-hmm. And the unofficial one was dope.
Yeah, and then my friend, I was saying like, man, the pictures were better in here, but he said, but he said, nah, but you actually got the better guide because they're actually telling you the stuff, like some things that it don't tell you in the official guide. And I say, oh, well, that's crazy then. So why the hell why the unofficial one? Because the cover of the unofficial one was, it didn't look as good. The official one wasn't great either. It was just a basic one, but the unofficial one, it wasn't like an official cloud. So I just thought, like, man, I said, well, my dad's only gonna pay for this, so I just have to get it. I get it. But I didn't know I had the better guide. I didn't realize I had the better guide. Until I got his guide. He let me hold his guide because he already knew the game. And I was just comparing. I was like, oh, this guide is better.
Yeah.
And then I was mad because when I got to like Final Fantasy 9, there was no other guide for Final Fantasy 9, I believe.
Exactly.
And I think it was just Brady Games. And that was the one that said, hey, if you want to learn more, go online to Square Play Online, I think it's called. Like Square had his own online service stuff. I was so pissed. I was like, what the fuck about this guy for then? If I'm not they ain't gonna tell me shit. I gotta keep going online. Yeah, and everything was online. So it's like, and it was free. So it wasn't like I had to put some code in because I had bought the game or something. bought the guide. So it was like, I could have just not bought a guide. So you assholes. That's like, I hate that so much. But yeah, those were the days. Guides, man, I still got a whole bunch of guides. I think I got the last guide I got, I think it was Kingdom Hearts 2. Like, I got this real nice guy, like this collector's guy for
I was
it.
gonna say that would have been something substantial.
Yeah. But yeah, that was it. That was my last guide I actually bought. I was just like, oh, just the internet. And now I'd rather see freaking game facts type of guy where people type than than some of these ones, especially from websites, because they got a whole bunch of freaking advertising shit on them.
It's almost as bad as recipes.
Yeah. Oh God, recipe. I get so mad at reading recipes because I'll be like, okay, get to the part. You tell me how much butter am I supposed to put in this?
You see, like, butter was discovered by the Scandinavians back in, it gives you like the whole life story of every ingredient.
Yeah, I was like, okay, now, and then they show you how to do it. It's like, wait a minute, I don't know how much I'm supposed to put in here. And it's like, it's either vice versa. It's either one or the other. Either tell you how much you're supposed to have and not tell you how to do it to like to scroll all the way down, or vice versa. One time, some of them was like, how you gonna show me how to do it and not tell me how much I'm supposed to have? I have in it. They say, you sons of bitches.
God. Dominic, I am looking at the completely unauthorized Final Fantasy Ultimate Guide from Versus Books that was only $9.99 and had a free poster. It is amazing to me that they somehow fit
Final Fantasy what? 7?
7, yeah. How
Hold up, let me see if that's the one I had.
Here, I'm gonna send you I'm gonna put the link in right at the bottom of the news. It's amazing to me, though, that they fit this entire game into 149 pages. Granted, 149 pages is a lot, but when you look at the text density,
that's the guy I had, Dane.
Yep, this was the one. It was awesome.
Oh, so but you see, I'm just saying, like, it wasn't a bad cover. It's just that it was like a fake cloud. So you can tell, like, it makes it appear like
it was the anime cloud.
This ain't gonna be no good guide or nothing like that compared to the Brady official one.
Yeah,
but it turned out to be the better one.
Yep.
Yeah, it did come with a free poster. Yep, I don't remember what the poster was though.
It's if you go to, I think, the second page. It's that left hand side.
Oh yes, I had this poster.
Yep,
I had it on my wall.
Yep. Yeah, I actually dug the anime inspired character designs of this guide, so I was kind of into it.
Oh my God, look at this guide up here, man. Let's get back so many memories.
Yep.
Oh my God. Yep, this the guide. Yep, it was not $10 compared to the Brady one. I think it was like $14.99. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sure, it was something more.
But yeah, this was the one, because I remember I had this one even though I didn't have the game, because I was so excited about like playing it at my buddy's house, and my buddy bought the official one. Oh, you bought this guy too? Yeah. Oh. And I was waiting basically for the PC version to come out, but I got this guide ahead of that just to like look at stuff, and like I said, I liked the poster and I liked the artwork for it, and he had the official guide, and it was not good compared to this one. Like this one, I feel like the official guide didn't have as many like screenshots and stuff. It was just like more walls of text. I can't remember, but yeah, I much preferred this one. I've got to still have this around here somewhere. Even when I got rid of like a lot of my Nintendo powers and stuff, I still kept most of my strategy guides, and I've got like my Super Metroid strategy guide, and I've got to have this one somewhere. So
damn, wow, this is getting back so many memories.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ!
Shout out to the people on Internet Archive that scan this stuff, because that's just awesome.
Yeah, it is that they do. Yeah, that they do this. Yeah, that is cool.
From 1997, Dominic. All right, but that is the news that I saw this week. I think we're getting back into the calm before the storm that will be the Summer Game Fest. 2 episodes from now, we'll be talking about that stuff for sure. And then the following episode after that will have been the Microsoft thing. There's still a lot of speculation out that there will be a Sony either showcase or state of play. It sounds like it might just be a state of play, which is obviously like the smaller version, before the end of May. And, we're a week away from that. So we shall see if Sony pops up
And
on
if
Monday
it don't happen,
saying
we
they
gotta
got
attack that guy who said it was going to happen.
and if it does happen, then we attack the other people. Yeah, I just want them to have something good to show off. I don't care if it's a state of play or a showcase or whatever. Yeah. But I know they said they don't have anything from their like properties.
I just want a Horizon Zero Dawn remastered like everybody wants.
Oh no, don't do that. I just want Lego Horizon Zero Dawn down there. God, if that's their big thing, that's gonna be such a wet fart. I can't believe that's a thing. Like Lego, sitting here as a person with a Lego tall neck on a shelf next to me, those are two cool properties to combine. Like, I think the designs of those creatures in that game are very cool. And I think building Legos of them would be interesting. Having that game set in a world of Lego designs where you're not building them, far less cool. And I don't know what market you're trying to corner. Like, are you like, okay, we're going to get the kids with this one, just like Lego Rock Band? Like, what are we doing here? I don't know. I asked for smaller games, Dominic, and maybe this is what they thought I meant. Like, this is cheaper production.
Killzone remastered.
Yes, dude. See, I thought you were saying do Lego Killzone.
Oh, do that too.
How about you just make Killzone Shadow Strike or whatever that PS4 launch title was? Make that a free game already, please.
Wow, just do that. I'm shocked that's not part of the free games.
Is that part of the collection now? Maybe. Let's see.
Maybe it is.
Killzone Shadowfall PlayStation Plus. They're like, no, we have a legacy to keep. We can't let you do that.
Knack is though, right?
$20. I think Knack is, yeah. Obviously the best.
Knack
okay, it is included with PlayStation catalog. All right, okay. So all these years I've been complaining I could have just been playing it, so it's added to my library, and then never play it from there either.
Do a Knack Lego game. That's what it should be.
Knack's already a Lego game. They don't need that license. Knack sells itself, Dominic. All right, let's get into these couple of new releases we got here real quick. First up, Senua's Saga Hellblade 2 out on PC, Xbox. Obviously, that's a Game Pass title.
And it's $50, right?
It is. Is it 50 or 40? Let's see. I know it's discounted. 50 is probably right, though, because we are in the next generation where games are $70. So obviously, a discounted game would only be $50. All right, Xbox site. You don't need to show me a logo. Just give me the price. Don't tell me like join Game Pass to get it. Okay, yeah, $49.99. Like you said, $50. So it sounds like it's a relatively short game, which gives me more motivation to actually attempt to play it because I could maybe get through it. But first, I got to get through the first one. So this very much feels like, and I could be wrong, but it very much feels like a game where I have to play the first game to play this game. Even though I'm sure they would tell me otherwise just to get me to play. All right, and then we have X Defiant, Dominic. That's now out on PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X. That is the new Ubisoft,
multiplayer free-to-play?
Yeah, Ubisoft guy.
Right? Yeah, you say Ubisoft. Okay.
Yep, free-to-play first-person shooter where you got kind of different factions that are related to like previous properties from Ubisoft. Like you have the Libertad, which is the Far Cry people, the Phantoms, which are the Ghost Recon people, Echelon, which is the Splinter Cell people, Cleaners, which is the Division people, and DedSec. So
this is Tom Clancy's X Defiant?
Yes, it is. It is originally Tom Clancy's X Defiant, but I think they did drop the Tom Clancy.
But you said Far Cry, but you said Far Cry, so yeah. Far Cry wasn't Tom Clancy.
I think it was originally. You're right. It was originally Tom Clancy's X Defiant, and then I think at some point they dropped that. that off of there because
Oh, okay.
yeah, because Tom Clancy's.
Do they got Watch Dogs? Do they got Watch Dogs in there?
Yeah, they have DedSec in there.
Okay, that's okay. Good.
Yeah, I mean it's an interesting concept to do with your properties.
Rayman.
No, that's got to be part of the DLC.
Faction? Rabbids faction.
We can only hope, Dominic. We can only hope. Just Dance faction.
Yeah,
they got to be coming. They're gonna have to support this with battle passes and seasons. That's the way to go. You don't
now,
Prince of Persia faction.
Like, I mean, the little bit I've seen, does it look like a? It doesn't have no colorful look to it, right? It looks like
it looks very like kind of Call of Duty.
Yeah,
kind of maybe a little bit more personality, like in the vein of Apex Legends, but still nothing that looks like bright and colorful like their what was that other Ubisoft one? Hyperscape?
Yeah.
Nothing like that. Which it's kind of funny because like that at least had some like personality to it, but
yeah, this just looked more like a Call of Duty. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see. It sounds like launch did not go particularly well for them, but maybe they'll pull through. But of course, it's free to play, so you get all that grossness to it, loot boxes and monies and things to buy and all that stuff. So it's just because I'm right here. What's IGN's review for it? 7. Good. The fundamentals of X Defiant are good, but conflicting ideas and mechanics stop it from standing above a crowded shooter field, which it is very much a crowded shooter field right now. So, yeah. All right, Dominic, those are our new releases for the week. You got anything else for the people?
No, I'm good.
All right. Thank you guys, as always, for listening. You can check us out on Twitter. Dominic's at DStallworth5. I'm at Regulus MB. The podcast is at Supapod, SUPAPOD. Supapod.com is the website. You can check us out there. It has links to all the places you can find us, including YouTube, where there's a video version of this podcast, as well as iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcasts. Or, nope, fuck that up. Not Google Podcasts. YouTube Music and Spotify. Until next time, guys. Talk to you later.
All right, see you.